What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now this is kind of a follow-up video because I got such good feedback from my video of 10 things that runners need to stop doing in the new year, and the main point that people seem to like was not to focus on pace so much. So in this video I'm going to be showing you 10 ways that you are improving with running without using pace as a metric. It's not all about getting faster. And guys, when it comes down to it, trying to beat our pace week over week or race over race, that adds a lot of pressure. And my friends, you and I are in this running game, we're in it for the long term. So if pace is the only thing that you are focusing on, I need you to find just a couple things. Watch this video, take a couple of these points and kind of stick them in your back pocket, because the more ways that you can measure your enjoyment, the more ways that you can measure progress with your running, the happier you'll be. All right, let's get into it. So guys, this video is more for the runner that wants to continue with running. They want to make running a long-term thing that they do. And my friends, if you focus only on pace, if you are only concerned with getting faster every time you go out, or at least every time you race, you're going to be setting yourself up for disappointment. And when we go running, we really want to avoid disappointment at all costs. And of course, disappointment comes from expectations. So by choosing a different measure of success to our running, we're changing our expectations. We're allowing for change. So if one of them doesn't fit, we can switch to another. And this is really like a life hack. It's a life hack for runners. You've heard me say it before, guys. If you don't get what you want, you change what you want. So the first way that you can see that you are getting better at running without looking at your time is that you're becoming more consistent with your training. And guys, this is one of my favorite ones because it's kind of a backhanded way of becoming a better runner. And you've heard it here, and you've heard it on a lot of other channels, that the main thing that will make your running get better is consistency. So when you start finding that you are consistently getting out for your runs, my friends, that is something to celebrate, and that needs to be a measure of success. The second way to realize that you are getting better at running without focusing on your time is that the motions start to feel a bit more natural. And guys, this automatically ties into the first one. When you're running consistently, you're getting a lot more practice with your running, and when you're more practiced at something, you get better at it. Your arm swing feels smoother, your arm carriage is a little more relaxed. You don't feel like a clunking ogre walking down the street. You start to feel smooth, you tap into your inner Kipchoge, and you're off. And guys, this is going to happen, and we have to use this as a measurement that we are getting better. Now, as we practice something, those connections between our mind and our body, they become more efficient, they become less effortful, and we can just fall into a run. And this is where we'll find that running just feels a little bit easier than it did in the beginning. This really is a great one, guys. When you start feeling natural about running, that is a success. The third way to measure your running success that isn't about time is when you start noticing that you're able to run further. We've all been there. We've all been there in the beginning where we start off and we're like, how am I ever going to run a 5K? But my friends, it won't be long. It won't be long until you are running a 5K. You might even get up to a 10K. After that, the goals get a little further apart, but you can get there. And if you notice that you are getting to these milestones, runners, that is something to celebrate. That is a great way to celebrate the success of your running journey. And it has nothing to do with time. I often say that speed is irrelevant, and when we're going out for most of our runs, it really is. We just need to be out there, going through the motions, nice and easy. Remember, the vast majority of your runs are supposed to be easy runs. And when you notice that you're going for longer, that's a reason to celebrate. So we just talked about running more, running further as a way to show that you are getting better at your running. The fourth way to show that you are getting better as a runner that has nothing to do with your time is when you notice that you are running more week over week. So now we are combining consistency and running further. Now guys, I want to encourage restraint, especially when you are a new runner. Your aerobic capacity builds so quickly that you are able to go out without losing your breath. You're able to feel better on the run, but you have to build that distance slowly. Your skeletal system doesn't get fit at the same pace as your aerobic system, so gradually build up. And you've probably heard the adage about adding no more than 10% a week. Now, while the science of that isn't exactly sound, it's a good place to start. So perhaps when you first start running, you'll notice that you can run 2 days a week, and on those recovery days in between, you're really tired, but all of a sudden you add another day in and you realize, you know what, I can run these 3 days a week and my body isn't absolutely thrashed. Maybe I can add a fourth day, maybe a fifth day. And guys, over the weeks and over the months, you're going to notice this increase. That is a sign that you are becoming a better runner, and it has nothing to do with your speed. The fifth way to show that you are becoming a better runner that has nothing to do with speed is how you handle hills. So when you find that hills are becoming just a little easier, that is a clear sign that your legs are getting stronger, your heart, your aerobic system is getting stronger, and you're able to handle those uphills a lot easier than you were in the beginning. Perhaps in the beginning, you used to have to come to a stop. You used to have to walk to keep your heart rate down. And now you're finding, as you've progressed, as you've become consistency, as you've added the distance to your weekly running, you found that you can charge up these hills and you don't blow up doing it. And my friends, that is an excellent indicator that you are becoming a better runner. And again, it has nothing to do with your pace. It's all about that internal feeling. You're feeling stronger. And with that increased strength comes that better ability to handle hills. Guys, we're moving along nicely. The sixth way that you are going to see improvement that has nothing to do with your pace is your heart rate. And this is a fantastic indicator of progress. So at the beginning of your running journey, perhaps even at the beginning of a training cycle, you might notice that your heart rate is, well, I'm not going to give any numbers because it's all different for everyone, but let's say your heart rate is about here when you go out for your regular easy run. Guys, over time, as you're consistent and you start adding mileage safely, you are going to notice that your heart rate for that same run, for that same effort, is getting lower. And you most likely have a heart rate monitor on your watch. For the most part, the optical heart rate sensors that are on your watch are going to do a fabulous job at tracking your heart rate over time. And then you can just go to your training app and you will see your average heart rate over the weeks decline. When our heart becomes more efficient, our blood contains more oxygen. And with each beat, our heart pumps more oxygen out to our muscles. And when our muscles have more oxygen, they're able to perform better. And that results in a lower heart rate. It's totally individual. You're not going to be comparing your heart rate with somebody else. So that is a fantastic way of measuring your progress in running, and it has nothing to do with speed. The seventh way that you're going to start recognizing that you're getting better at running that has nothing to do with speed is that you're able to maintain a conversation while you're running. Now guys, in the beginning, this is going to be really hard. I know what it's like in the beginning. You go out, your heart rate is so high and you're running already so slow. You think, how am I ever going to be able to have a conversation while I'm running? Well, that is what makes it a perfect measurement of progress with your running. Now, it's not going to be long. After a couple of weeks, you're going to start noticing this difference. And when you notice it, I want you to celebrate it because it means that you are getting better. And it also means that you're going to be able to incorporate some social runs into your schedule. Pretty soon you're going to be going out with your running buddy and those miles are just going to fly by because you're just chatting the whole time. It is a brilliant way to measure progress. And of course, it has nothing to do with pace. Okay, the eighth way to show that you are becoming a better runner that has nothing to do with pace is when you're finished with your run. So over time, as you get better, as you build that consistency, as you build that efficiency, you're feeling more natural, you're going out for more runs, you're going to find that you don't finish your run feeling absolutely trash. You're going to finish those runs and you are going to feel great. And it's going to be pretty gradual. If you're a new runner over the first couple weeks, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's going to be pretty difficult. But over time, you're going to get home and you're going to realize, hey, I actually feel pretty good. And to me, that's the secret of becoming a lifelong runner, a lifelong athlete. Because when you feel good after your run, you get to carry those good feelings with you throughout the entire day. So that half an hour, 45 minutes or hour, however long you went out for your run, you are going to be getting benefits from that throughout the entire day. And when you realize that is happening, I can't think of a better way to show progress with your running. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, that internal feeling of well-being, that is what we want from running. The ninth way to recognize that you are seeing improvement with your running that has nothing to do with pace is when you find it's emotionally easier to get out there and do it again. So when you just start running, or maybe even when you come back after a break, sometimes it's hard to wrap your mind around going out for a run. Now, the weather can affect this, what you had for dinner can affect this, but a lot of times we're just anxious for actually getting out there and doing the work. And a great way to recognize progress is when you don't have that automatic anxiety when you know you have a run scheduled for the next day. You're going to feel good about that next run because you know what the run is going to do for you. We just talked about feeling fresher when you finish your run. Well, now this is on the other side. We have to tap into our past selves. We have to realize how good we're going to feel because of this run. And that lets us feel better about going out for our next run. Now, guys, I will not lie to you. It is not always easy, even after years, to get out there and go for your run. Those first couple steps, they can be brutal. But after you get over that initial discomfort, that warm-up period, you're going to start to feel good. And again, that good feeling will continue throughout the entire day. And the 10th way to show that you are becoming a better runner that has nothing to do with pace is that you are making other changes in your life on behalf of your running. Okay, and this is a good one. I remember being quite amazed when I started making other changes in my life, all because I wanted to go running. And they include maybe not going out as much, not drinking as much, going to bed at a reasonable time, actually spending time foam rolling or using a massage gun. These are some of the things that you will actually want to do because it will make you a better runner. It will make your running more enjoyable. It'll make you a stronger runner. And I can't believe I forgot going to the gym and doing strength work. Maybe you love doing strength work, but if you're watching this and you're a runner, I'd say it's likely that strength work isn't your number one thing to do. But runners, we have to do it. We have to include that strength work in our routine because it will make us a better runner. All right, guys, I want to hear from you. Other than the 10 points that I just mentioned, what are some ways that you measure running that has nothing to do with your pace? Well, let me know in the comments below. My friends, thanks for staying all the way to the end of the video. Be kind, be happy, run well. I'll see you in a couple of days.